Hello.
Hi, how we doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just working, chugging along.
I like your fancy piece of kit there. You can talk and you've got headphones, and that's very cool.
Oh yeah, got to. It's way too loud and too dangerous to talk just holding the phone. So this helps greatly.
Well, it's very cool. I'm doing something very high tech. I'm putting a timer on my phone for 15 minutes so that it gives me some sort of like reminder to wrap things up, because talking to you all is so much of a pleasure, and we talk about so many things. I could just, it could go on for a long time. Anyway, how are the preparations going?
They are going very well. We actually just rolled out our first group this morning.
Oh, wow. How did it feel?
Oh, it's anxious. We're all very
Okay.
anxious to get it going. The anticipation,
Okay.
waiting to get going has actually been kind of murder on us.
Oh, waiting
Oh,
is so hard. It really
and
is.
it's
I mean, you when you have little children, you sort of realize that you say that to them, and how very true it actually is. It's easier to be doing than to be waiting. When you say the first convoy has rolled out, where did they leave from?
uh, from what they're saying, the guys that rolled out, one of our guys, he's down in Texas right now.
Okay.
They've started rolling. I believe Portland as well has
Uh-huh.
started rolling.
Okay.
Um, and I think some other groups in Washington and Oregon have joined in as well.
Uh-huh.
So there are people. The rubbers hit the ground. They're rolling.
That's
It's
it's I mean, for it to have come together and for people to actually be on their way, I mean, that's a significant kind of moment in this journey, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is. It is definitely significant. We've been, like if you've been paying any attention to this, I mean, we've thrown this together in less than a month. And a lot of people have been working on it, trying to get everything taken care of. It's not perfect by any means, but it's working. And
It's incredible what a group of people who really believe in what they're doing can come together and achieve. I mean, the logistics involved, the number of people, trying to overcome any sort of obstacles, which could go everywhere from logistic to political, and to bring everyone together and to have one vision and one voice. That is a lot to try and make happen, and even getting pretty close to it is
yeah,
really powerful. Have you had any feedback from these people who are en route? Oh, you frozen.
they're ecstatic. They're excited that they're finally getting going.
Huh?
They've already come across people on the overpasses and everything, and everybody's cheering
Yes,
them on.
that must be, I mean,
So,
that must be so emotional, for the people driving. Emotional for you to hear about it, but your time will come.
oh yeah, I still I I want it to come, but I keep thinking to myself, I wish I had more time to get things under control. Because we got so many plans that are still working. And we're
Mhm.
gonna have to work on them as we drive.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the main parts of the plan together. Um,
I'm so sorry.
all
I
that,
lost
but
that last
it's
word,
all. Oh,
say that again.
I said that we got the main parts of our plan all
Okay.
laid out in concrete, but it's all the little stuff, little things like, what are we gonna do if we don't have room for all the donations? And the one thing we decided was is if we don't, because everybody's donating, we got a lot of donations coming on. Everybody's trying to
Wonderful.
get involved, and it might come to the point where we don't have enough room for everything. So
Uh-huh.
what we're going to start telling people is that if we can't make the room for it, that you
Hmm.
take it to your local church or your charity and you donate
Okay.
it. from the convoy. You know, that way, you know, at least it goes to something, you know, good and help the people that need it.
Absolutely, because like, I mean, people will want to help. And, you know, just a little tiny thing like that might be that they donate some sort of perishable good and you don't think you can, you know, get to it in time, or, you know, it's nice to spread the love and to say, okay, well, if there's overspill from what we're doing and we're not able to harness it because of time constraints, then we want it to go somewhere nice and good and where it will, you know, where it will benefit, you know, the people, because that's what this is all about, the people.
It is exactly about the people. Like I told you last time, the trucks are just a symbol to rally behind. I mean, that they could be used as a tool as well, but it's mostly a symbol. That this is all about the people. You know, we've been trying to keep politics out of it as much as possible, because the people are, you know, we talked about it the last time. The people, once they unite, and even you said it just a minute ago, we can do amazing things together.
Yes, yes. And you know, the more you go on this journey trying to make amazing things happen that seem, you know, impossible, the more you realize that collectively we really are a significant force to be reckoned with. You sent me an article which was I mean, in the mainstream media, you have been sort of roundly abused. I was very surprised to read the article that you sent me, because, you know, the level of abuse extended to sort of, you know, maligning your intellect. You know, just like basically saying that you're not very clever people, which is an absolutely horrific way to debate any kind of issue. It has no moral, like it has no, sorry, no, it doesn't have material value at all. It is just an insult, and it's meant to be provocative. So that must be quite hard to, you know, how are you finding talking people through this and trying to keep them, you know, to make sure that they realize that it's purposeful provocation and that it needs to be resisted?
Well, like you said, it is purposeful provocation. They're trying to get a rise out of people, and you're right. There is no material backing on these statements from these articles. You know, some of the smartest people I know drive a truck. I mean, everybody
Oh,
I talk
yes, they underestimate enormously the, you know, it's maybe even a useful thing, because, you know, quite frankly, they're wrong. You know, just because you know, people might not speak the same, or they might not have the same piece of paper, but, you know, as you go through life, as you get older, if you actually, you know, everybody you meet is so, you know, they've got so much to share, they've been through so much, they've refined their understanding of life and the world, and to assume that, you know, that they're not smart, you know, just because A, either they hold different values from you, or B, that you know, they don't have the same pieces of paper as you. It's a massive mistake. Yeah, it's a massive mistake.
Well, it's like I tell anybody that tries to question the intelligence of a truck driver. I mean, we're in our trucks, you know, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. A lot of us are, most of that is driving. For some of us, you know, what do they think we do with all that time? I mean, we're listening to podcasts, we're listening to educational videos or books, we're listening to politics, you know, so we get involved that way. You know, so we're educating ourselves and building our knowledge the entire time we're doing our job. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some days where, you know, I just put some music on just to relax, but there's days that I listen to books as I drive.
And also, you know, there's just that kind of basic thing of, you know, why is it, or who are you to think that you're so clever? Because, I mean, ultimately, you are actually like angling for the destruction of humanity. So perhaps you're not so clever after all, do you know?
Well, I think a lot of the animosity that comes out of the people that write these articles, a lot of it is based out of fear, fear that, you know, of change, you know. That's been a big topic here in the US and apparently around the world, is especially over the last 2 years, the mainstream media and the politicians have been speaking fear to everybody. And any kind of deviation from what the mainstream media is telling people, you know, some people are so convinced that what that mainstream media says is absolute fact and true. So if anybody, you know, like the truck drivers say different, then they try to anyway, and don't.
I'm so sorry, Chris. I lost the last of that sentence, and I'd like to hear it. You said, so if any of the truck drivers say something that differs from what they have been exposed to on the mainstream media, and then I lost you.
Well, if the truck driver says something different, do you have me now? Sorry.
Yep, I've got you. Well, I've got sound, but I don't. There you go. You're a bit back. There you are.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm traveling as I'm talking to you.
It's absolutely fine.
What happens is, I mean, the people get frustrated because they're not getting the response out of the drivers or anybody for that matter that they want. So then they start getting upset because they don't feel like they're being heard, and then they don't know how to do it without trying to provoke someone into a reaction.
And I think this is like what you're talking about here is a huge growth in emotional intelligence that we have all been, improving ourselves by coming through, what has happened and realizing what you said there. If you look at somebody and you always try to understand the place that they're coming from, and instead of, just hearing the words that they're saying, then you have a much better chance of having some sort of meaningful exchange. If you just sort of take it as defensiveness or aggression, it's not going to go anywhere positive.
No, it's really not. If you're going to have a healthy debate with somebody, then both sides need to try to understand where the other person is coming from. I mean, even if you come to a disagreement about whatever you're talking about, just trying to understand the other person without getting angry and expressing emotions in a negative way, then you won.
And I think that it is actually quite, again, I say this kind of evolution, because that's not necessarily the kind of that's not really how we were kind of brought up to think generally in the West. We were kind of conditioned to compete with each other. The education system requires of you that you sit exams, and depending on how well you do in those exams, which are set by people who think that they know what is important to know, you then compete with each other. And even though you're supposed to, the overarching kind of commentary is, we're all friends, and it doesn't matter whether you do really well at that exam or not, and it doesn't matter if you get that job, it doesn't mean that the other person's better than you, except that everything that we actually do, like in our system, makes a mockery of that, because somebody gets an A, somebody gets a B, whose memory is best. And then, thereafter we will, decide, who gets all the good jobs. Because I mean, I even think like that, I think there's a huge underestimation of the capacity of what we would in this country perhaps call trades. I don't know how you refer to it in America. But there's this huge misapprehension on the part of people who go through university systems and into corporate sort of positions, that people who take a different path, literally we have been, conditioned, I think, as a society to, see these people as two different types of people even, and it's horrific, actually. when you think about it. You know, even that is divisive and competitive. I mean, where are we without, you know, our plumbers? Where are we without electricity? Where are we without our truck drivers?
Well, the way that I see it, what you're saying, that is exactly the same as over here. You know, the trade, and we call it the trades as well, and they are looked down upon by people that go into the universities and colleges and such. Not everyone,
and underpaid.
But there are some. And this is how I look at it: is every single position out there. I mean, all the way down to the fast food worker. Everybody has got a purpose. Everybody fits in somewhere. We are all essential, if you want to use that word.
That's
everybody
beautiful.
Serves a purpose in this world. Doesn't matter what position you do. I mean, I know garbage men that, you know, they pick up garbage all the time, and yet they make just as much as the person that works in the office wearing a suit and tie.
Okay, well, that's maybe a little bit different here, because I think that, I mean, my sister is a tradesperson. She's a head chef now. She has her own cafe, but she's gone through the hospitality trade, and I have watched her work harder, be smarter, be more capable of multitasking, be just like an excellent manager of people, learn and learn and learn, and be paid less than people who I know who don't work anywhere near as hard as her, or achieve as much in a day as her. Right. And it's not that I think that people who are doing jobs like being lawyers or doctors shouldn't be paid well. I just think that, you know, your hospitality industry, for instance, is vital. You know, where do people go to socialize, to be together? You know, right. Would it be without it?
No, and I would agree with that there are, you know, maybe I used a bad example with the garbage men, but there are jobs that we do have that, you know, are vital to our way of life, but they do not make all that much. And like you said, you know, these people that have skills that, and they work, and they got a better work ethic than these other people, you know, they sometimes are being paid less. You know, and unfortunately, that does happen over here too.
So it's like, you know, we have this opportunity now to rewrite so many things. You know, we have this opportunity to uplift and appreciate, as you said, every single person in this world for being essential, and actually begin to start valuing each person equally. We're not equally the same, but we're equally important, all of us.
That is a great way to look at it. That is a great way to look at it.
I think between us, we you know, that we've said some really nice things, actually, and I don't want to take up too much more time. The alarm already went, by the way, and I was enjoying it too much. I didn't stop us. Sorry. But it did go. So let me just really quickly see if there would you like, is there anything you would like to say to your group or communicate anything? You know, literally, logistically, or whether it's just a kind of a comment on what you're doing, or just, yeah, have the floor.
Sure. To everybody that's involved or afraid to be involved, we're going for the people. This isn't about one person, one group, one country. This is for everybody. The world needs to change course, because the way it's going is not the right way. We're going down the wrong path. And I think everybody's finally starting to see that. There are people everywhere waking up and standing up for what they believe in now. And a lot of them were afraid to do so. I have a woman in Missouri that is having health issues, and she's putting the health issues aside just to come to this thing. Because it is so important to her. The bravery that takes is unimaginable.
It sounds like you're also meeting just a wonderful, vast, or like at least electronically, or communicating with a vast array of people now.
The people I have met through social media over this thing is beyond words. I can't find the right words to use, because so many people have shown such courage and bravery, even just standing up for what they believe in, because so many people are afraid anymore. And
You know, I think you have grown as a leader since the first time that I spoke to you. Like, I really think that you are, you know, really growing into the role that the world has bequeathed you. And on that note, I will let you go, because it's a nice way to leave things, isn't it? Is that cool?
that's cool. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay,
I
okay.
always
I'll speak to
enjoy
you
it.
soon. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye.